Hello and welcome to the second part of this episode on NEP, on education, on schools, on timings, on holidays, on holistic development of a child, which we are having here. And I would like to, for those who joined us late, I would like to introduce in short, starting with Cecil Rodriguez, convener of this movement, Praveen Bab Konkar, headmaster, Prasad Bab Harmarkar, parent, and Dattaraya Bab Naik, also a headmaster. Cecil, now you've heard half an hour we discussed. Now one point which is close, I know it would probably go against a lot of parents type of moment, but for me it is important for a child all-round development to succeed. See, ultimately you have say IAS officers, then you have the top CEOs, then you have the businessmen, and then you have the politicians. So these are the various segments of society, so as to say. So, but to succeed, you need a person who's mentally tough, who's got that drive, who's got that confidence, so this is not only developed while in books, right? This is developed in a lot of other things. Now you do a lot of outside student things. So this is something that Dattaraya Babu was also talking. So how is this NEP, suppose is good, I've seen it, yes. But how is this present curriculum and how is this, is it going to help us, or is it going to, you come home, run to school, come back, what is the scene? I'm confused. You just shed some light on this confusion.
As you said that we as parents are not against the NEP, but how it's implemented. See, there are things, last year NEP was introduced for the 9th standards. So
nothing has changed, I think.
They have introduced,
it's just there.
No, they have actually they have helped in introducing more vocational subjects for children who are on the weaker side, so they can opt for subjects.
That's not the reason for NEP.
No, but they are making it like where the weaker students and the smart students have a choice of subjects that they can take, but provided that you have the facility. Now, these vocational subjects need labs, need kind of spacemen to conduct these vocations, or centers in each respective city or village if the school doesn't have that infrastructure. First of all, that has not been sorted out.
How many schools have? Just after you finish, I'll bring in private.
Yes.
How many schools have got?
They do not have. Very few schools, I think so, you can count 2 or 3 schools.
How many government schools are
there? No. They do not.
One teacher, 10 students. How you are going to do this?
So Glenn, I'll tell you the problem that the 9th standard faced. I'll start with that, because first of all, when you implement NEP for a particular section, you have to take feedback. How was it?
Obviously.
You have to plan yourself. The department has to sit with all the principals saying that did we face any problem with the NEP?
Give infrastructure, give proper infrastructure.
So this was not done. I think so, sir will agree that this discussion was not done with the heads of the schools, that's the headmasters or the teachers, saying how did the 9th standard fare. This was not done. So
review,
very important. Any implement has to have review.
Obviously.
So to that,
it should be done every 3 months, I think, not at the end of the year, actually.
So Glenn, what I did was, I didn't just listen to the government, I started going down on ground level, and trust me, I went and I visited them personally in Ponda. I went to Tiswadi schools, I went to Barde schools, I went to Ponda schools, I went to Vasco schools. I went for 1 week on the ground meeting principals, and I came and I met them and I got their feedback, and that's how I put that forward. You won't believe it that in a vocational subject where the students, you need a minimum of 20 students to apply for one vocational subject. So one school in Banavali had banking, which they had opted for. You know what the government teaches, what the government sends them? Which teacher? Retail. You're laughing, but this is what has happened. They don't have teachers in place. Secondly, during the 10th standard board exams were happening, I went to certain schools. I was in Ponda that time. I went to certain schools, and even in Vasco, 18 teachers were not present at a day because they were either sent for correction, for trainings, or for supervision. Is this how you're supposed to plan, where children for a whole day do not have teachers in class? Parents have come and told me that children came and said today whole day there was no teacher in class. How is the school
at least supposed to manage? This is not election time.
And this is not an election time even more.
The full half of the
so the principals are put in kind of a lot of dilemma, a lot of stress, including the teachers, where teachers are not able to finish their portion. Now I have with me each subject, how many hours are supposed to be for each subject, how many hours. Now the teachers are not able to complete because they are sent here and there for different kind of organization, and it's like a threat. I don't know whether sir would say it out loud, But I know that principals have told me that if you don't attend it, then you are given backslash.
That is a typical.
I do not care whether you all are finishing your portions or not. They have to be sent there. So this is kind of threat that goes on with our principal. So first of all, teacher shortages are there. I think so. They will also agree. There's teacher shortage. They are not confirming teachers. On top of that, confirmed teachers are few, and they could not be sent for training. So there is no job security also here now. Teachers are today pressurized. I feel so sad that today teachers are telling me I'm waiting to retire. The teachers who are passionate about teaching are waiting to retire because of the stress level that is built up.
And all is there.
That is part. The infrastructure is even bigger thing, because today you are asking teachers, children to be in a kind of an environment where it is unbearable. Today we are sitting in this AC studio and we are doing this interview. If you had to do it outside, I would have been perspiring full sweat.
I'll bring in Praveen, tell me now, you all are, I'm sure NEP is good. Like I totally agree with Dattara. NEP is good, skilling is good, you have to give on-job training, you have to give them, send them to, but ultimately you have to make if your base, if your foundation is not strong. Now you started NEP in 9th standard, right? Now your base for NEP is a concept. It's not a system. It's a concept, like how you want to, everybody shouts about the West, but it's something that the West has been doing for a very long time. It's giving you a practical training, sending you on the job. That's the way NEP was supposed to be for skilling. Starting in 9th, it should have been started in 1st. No, your infrastructure, your foundation is built from the primary and thing. No, is it logical to start in 9th? And I'm just asking for a professional.
No, it is started at 4 stages.
Correct.
It was started for 1st,
okay,
then 9th, and now it is.
No, but 1st and 9th, it shouldn't be built up along the people.
No, they have different stages.
Okay.
Yeah. It is 3 or 4 plus 3 plus
5 plus 3 plus
5
3 plus
plus
4.
3 plus
3 plus
3
4.
plus
But you
4.
have to build up infrastructure.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Everything separate infrastructure has to be built. Training has to be done.
Yeah.
Then.
No, actually, as far as infrastructure is concerned,
Yeah.
we are comparing with CBSE and ICSE school. But as far as the vacation is concerned, as far as textbook or teaching is concerned. But when you look at the infrastructure of those schools, ICSE and CBSE schools in Goa, we cannot compare them.
Why you can't compare?
Because they are all, you can see, big schools with all facilities. We don't have those facilities which are there for CBSE.
What don't you have? What do you have? What don't you have? I know one thing, we read in the news that every second day some school is shutting down, or that one school has got no teacher. That I know, but what do what schools don't have? Government schools or aided schools? Government schools, aided schools. Are you aware of what they have, what they don't have? Generally, I'm asking.
Yeah.
Do we have fans, ACs, good benches, toilets? Generally, I'm just asking. Playgrounds.
No, there is all not sufficient. The playgrounds are not sufficient. The toilets are not sufficient. The classrooms, then ventilation. So there are many problems of infrastructure in these schools, private schools.
And for implementation of NEP infrastructure,
especially to start in the month of April, we need a good infrastructure.
In this basic in fans and
basic.
Yeah.
At least 4 fans and all.
And one more thing I would like to bring to a notice, that this problem, what happened this year, as I mentioned earlier, that we are starting the new academic year before the earlier academic year gets over. And this is not because of first year. Even the years to come, same thing will happen. I'll mention to you, it is 24th March 2026. Next year, academic year is getting over on 24th March. And they are starting within another 6 to 7 days, 1st of April, the new academic year.
How is it?
Because
practical?
see,
it is practical.
It is not at all practical. 24th means the exams are getting over.
Yeah.
And within a week, we cannot give the result. So same problem will be there even next academic year. Another problem we face is, if you look at the demography of Goa, here almost 50% are from other states, outsiders. Same proportion we find in our schools, and they generally like to visit their native place in the month of April and May. They have good, with their they go there, they stay for 2 months, even in the month of June, and they come back. Now if they go from here, 50% of the students are not present in the class, And what we teach in these days, we have to repeat everything in the month of June.
Very
So
true.
this will be a waste of time and energy of the teachers as well as of the students.
Okay.
Now even central government has come out with against no detention policy
Yeah. That is, I think it's going to be scrapped or something. Whatever.
in 5th standard and in 8th standard. It won't be there. But Goa government is not ready to accept this.
No, it will happen. Whether they like it or not.
Now
that
they have
will happen.
extended it further. They made it even for a 9th no detention
That
policy.
will change. You just
This year they have extended it
watch,
to
watch,
9th.
watch sometime. It will change
All students from 9th will be taken to 10th
directly.
without result.
Very true.
A result will come later on. And they will be given ATKT, allowed to keep term. I don't think it is fair
Very true.
to give a ATKT student who is failing in all subjects, taking him to the 10th standard, asking him to answer the 9th standard papers along with the 10th standard. There are students in 9th standard who cannot read and write,
This is a valid point. I agree with you.
and now they want them or every student in the 10th standard next year. I don't know whether it's a part of NEP or this is a policy of the Goa government. And if you continue like this, see our national achievement survey, already we are falling down.
Sure.
And our government always wants to be first in India. And here also we will be first in India with this sort of rules, but not from the top, from the bottom.
Bottom. Very true.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Praveen Bab. Prasad Bab, now my point here is like, see, maybe, I don't know, this detention policy, I don't think that they will be forced to follow a logic, but children, like, as you said, your kids are in city schools, which are generally better, even though I'm sure Sasi will say even some of the city or semi-city schools are better. Yeah, but before we go in, before I continue with you, I have to go in for a short break. Keep watching. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, Prasad Bab, as you were saying, but the infrastructure, you were talking infrastructure in villages, in schools, some of them have literally they are in tin sheds. I've seen some of the schools. These small houses, they have no, and they walk, they have got no buses, they have to walk for hours. So how are they going to manage? And our temperature is going up. It's not going down because of rampant cutting of trees and this concretization and this. So
as a parent,
I'm talking about specifically as a parent.
As a parent, after hearing to the respected headmasters, everything is in place. This NEP is good, everything is in place without even introducing this April admission.
Deadline.
So first and foremost, I don't understand why is the need for government again. We are bragging around with the same thing. Why is the need for these people to put us in this trouble?
Situation.
In fact, you have literally pulled the parents to the streets.
Very true.
You have pulled the parents to the streets. What was the need for this? There was no need for. Now you pulled us to the streets. We went to the honorable court. The honorable court gave us time, asked us for suggestions. What happened to those suggestions?
What happened to this? I'm also asking.
We have given nearly about 4,000. Of course, the official figure they say is 4,000, but it's much more than that. It's crossed 15,000. Let me be very. And what they have done? Within 2 hours, they come up with a new circular that itself has got flaws in it. And they said we have considered all the application.
You don't think that within 2 hours 4,000 they can go through?
They have, that's what I said the other day. It's a miracle that has happened. It's a miracle that has happened in the land. And then I don't know, God Himself must have come and helped them.
But 4,000 in 2 hours.
Within 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, they have
You must
given.
appreciate in that case.
But the circular which came out with a flaw. The holidays for this year 25 are not mentioned in the circular.
So this means there's no holiday.
There is no vacation from 1st of May till 30th of May. There is no vacation this year in 25. I don't know whether somebody has gone details.
Wait, Datarabab, is it true that in this year legally as per notification there is no vacation? Is correct? Can you read? Okay, I'm very curious.
Summer vacation 1st May 2026.
26?
Yes.
Next year?
Yes,
Yes.
to 5th June 2026.
And
It's
25?
written in the circle.
And 25?
This is
No holiday in 25. Probably this is for the first time the circular has been issued where the reopening date is not mentioned.
Very true.
Praveen sir was mentioning just now about
Yeah.
the
And you
reopening.
go to see-
Reopening is not specified. Otherwise, they used to always
Always,
specify
yeah,
the
yeah,
date of
they have
reopening.
to.
On so and so particular date, the school will reopen. It is not mentioned
No,
in
it
this
is
particular
there here on the last point for class 1 to 5. And no, this is and class 11. So we are not included in that.
In between none?
Yeah. For them, we will reopen on 4th. For other classes, that is 6th to 10th and then
No,
12th.
no, it's not that.
Yeah.
I'm saying this academic year,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
reopening on 7th April. That is mentioned. Next academic year,
Yeah,
25-26.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is implemented from 7th April, 25-26 is over. Then next year, 26-27,
Yeah.
when it is going to reopen, that is always specified.
Normally
mentioned.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is always
And it's
mentioned.
not.
For the first time, this is not mentioned here.
And my concern at this point of time is even worse with this no detention policy, because there's nothing which has come up today. You say there's no detention from 5th to the 8th. A person who cannot read and write anything in A is
In ninth
automatically-
standard?
Very true.
what will happen to the people, to the students who are hardworking?
Very true.
Their morale will be killed over there itself. They'll say this person doesn't know ABC literally.
I am
and
not concerned about those people. Those who know to read and write, they will go where they have to go.
have
The
to go.
people who
ones-
cannot,
ones.
what are they going to do?
No,
They
they are-
ultimately, see, not everybody is like Mukesh Ambani's son or something. They have to. Everybody has to work.
Yeah.
They have to get jobs.
Today
What are they going to work as?
Today, unfortunately, there's a trend in our state that if you can't do anything, you take sticks and run around with any protest everywhere. That's become a
Or
way of
take up a
life.
government job.
The other day,
Yeah.
the other day,
Also, there's a shortage.
the other day it was shocking when Dr. Uday Bembre put up a post over there. There were people, I really don't understand whether they really thought what he whether read what it is said that you are going to harass people. So this mob mentality people are going to be created with such sort of
I don't know,
non-detention.
conspiracy theory, but still. What I wanted to know is this, is this not going to be, NEP was a reason why, to get better all-rounded people, but like this, with this no detention policy, with this basically lack of application, when you're doing notifications, there is no connect, not going to the ground, not going to parents. See, ultimately parents and teachers, and you all are the heads of this. I mean, you all are the stakeholders, no? तुम्ही ना like कशा जातले education policy? I don't know. I'm very surprised. How is it possible?
As far as
Who
implementation,
among these ministers is qualified to be an education? I want to know. Or MLAs, forget all the MLAs. It
As far as
doesn't-
NEP
it
is
should be you all
concerned-
are the people, no? Parents and the thing and the educationists.
yeah, as far as NEP is considered, in fact, they had called us number of times.
Last year, right?
Yeah, I had
There
a
was the
meeting.
steering committee to me.
Yeah, I had a meeting with Director of Education, Mr. Jingde sir, Bhagirath Shetty sir, then
Bhagirath is no longer there. No?
no, he is there.
He's still there.
He is there as a chairman of Goa board
Okay.
with Mrs. Meghana Shedgaonkar as well as Lolekar sir. So as and when we had demanded for a meeting, they had called for a meeting.
But-
they had listened to us.
And
They
then
had given us an opportunity to
implementation-
say whatever implementation
of
ultimately
all
whatever
the
they feel
solutions.
they had implemented. So we are not opposing NEP. But the
no, I don't
way
think anybody is opposing NEP. NEP is
I don't
good.
think- yeah.
But,
but the
proper
way it is
con-
implemented,
connect
there is
with
a
the
problem
people,
with
with the
that.
education.
There is a problem with that. And starting school in the month of April itself is opposing NEP.
Very
I will just put it across you how it is.
Sanga.
See, I was referring to the previous this report card. The previous report card what we were having was scholastic report card, and now we are saying we are having an holistic report card. Now, what we are doing at this stage, we are promoting everyone, or we are, to the contrary, we are starting new academic year in the month of April before declaring the result. Result are not prepared. Result are not prepared, and we are asking all students to go and sit in the next class, higher class. Then what? We don't want to call them, don't want to say them that no, you are failed, you go and sit in the next back class, previous class. So what we are doing? The RTE that was implemented in the year 2009, it was for mass promotion. That is scrapped now. Now this is what NEP says, that the assessment should be competency based. So in a particular standard, when you are in a particular standard, you have to achieve so and so competencies.
Very true.
Then only you can be promoted to the next
And
level.
Yes.
reviews are to be done on a regular basis.
Correct. And therefore, now RTE says that no detention in 5th and standard 8 is gone. It is done away. It is
Yes.
not there now.
Yes.
As far as central notification is considered.
Correct.
But Goa government has not implemented that.
Not yet implemented.
Yes.
They will be forced to implement. That's what my point. They
No,
have
no,
to, they have
no,
choice.
I am coming to that.
No.
What the worst part of this April school is that we are not supporting NEP. We are working against NEP. The purpose of NEP is standardization of the standardization of the
Absolutely.
education across the country.
Absolutely.
Very true.
But what we are doing? We are taking co-curricular curricular subjects, and then for promoting in class 9th and 10th, we are adding skill-based curricular areas. Skill-based curricular areas are physical education and well-being, then IDA, art education and vocational education, where oral marks or internal marks are 120 and external marks are 80. So out of 200 at par, there also curricular 200, here also 200. And whoever is passing in these two subjects, any two subjects, if they are scoring more than 65%, they will be upgraded. So in this case, we are not focusing on the curricular subject. The focus is being shifted
To vocational.
on the skill-based curricular areas.
Yes.
So what we are preparing, are we standardizing our students to at national level, or we are bringing them down? So the purpose, I feel the purpose is not served. The way it was expected, it is expected to implement NEP, it is not being implemented the way it is expected. To the contrary, we are coming down, we are not going up to the national level standard. As NES report said last year, we are much below the national average. And with this, we don't think that we will go to that level, we will still further come down. So because of this NEP, because of the starting the school in the month of April, what they are doing? No detention in class 8. Now what they are doing? There should not be detention. Because of this course, this is holistic approach, holistic card, there is no detention in class 9th also.
No.
When there is no detention in class 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to right now up to 9th, next year it will come up to 10th also, then how is that we are going to assess the student on the basis of competency? It is not possible.
Not possible.
And we will not be able to bring our student at par with national level. To the contrary, there are more chances that we will fail. So therefore, this no detention policy, this is no school in April should not be there, or school should not reopen in the month of April. New academic year should not start in the month of April. New academic year should start in the month of June only. What we are asking for is that quality time in the month of February and in the month of March. We are ready to conduct classes. We want students to conduct classes in that particular period. Instead of taking classes in the month of April when it is too hot, why not conducting classes in the month of February or in the month of March?
Yes.
If you say 220 days, there are already 220 days.
Already.
Yes.
In my school, I was just checking before coming. We are completing with considering month of April 230 days. So where there is a question of not completing 220 days, there is enough time. And what this says now, in the month of by March you finish the exam, and then in the month of April you call the classes. Why not classes in the month of March?
Yes.
Till 29th of the March or till 30th of the March we will have classes, and then exams can be having we can have the exam in the month of
First
April.
week, yeah.
First week of April.
First week of April.
Justify.
Or some 4-5 days can be taken as bagless days in the month of April itself.
April.
Very true.
What harm is there?
No, actually nothing. And see, I don't know, like we are out of time completely, but this is a discussion we need to have more later once thing is. But we are. I don't know what. See, this employment has become a very big issue. Not in Goa,
Overall.
all over India. All over India. But if we are not going to concentrate on education,
Right.
it's going to be a problem. Then after, because you cannot find people who can do the particular jobs, then people will start going in for AI, for automation and all that. And what is the government going to do with the people who are there? We are the largest number of people in the world today. We have beaten China.
Yes.
Correct.
So this is something that the government has to do, and this is the foundation. If you are not going to educate, education is something that is needed for a person. It's the structure which is made so that a person can think, can rationalize, can be, last 10 seconds.
Yes.
Just-
So talking about this, to implement anything, teachers have to be trained first.
Yeah. This is a full
This
discussion.
is-
This is a 1 hour discussion.
This is a full
Bring-
But I will just highlight a quick thing before I
Sam.
could finish, that the whole purpose of this parents coming out is basically the 6th standard where NEP new implementation is going to be there. That's why we've all come out, because the 11-year-olds are called during the
In the
summer
heat.
heat. And when we read the circular of the training program, we've got to know that the trainings have still not completed. I was just talking to sir
Have they started?
to check.
already?
Just to check, see, the trainings for science and maths will be organized in the first week of April
That's
and
what
scheduled for the
started.
same. So teachers are not trained. Teachers need time to plan. Teachers are also human beings.
No, just training one thing is not enough. There's a lot of other things
You
beyond
have
that.
to
Just
plan.
come for and you.
It's a
have you-
new policy.
I don't. Have you been for the trainings? You should go one day. When you come there, they give you some.
They
lecture,
just
go,
talk
"You're
for
not
half a
you're
day
not,
and then that's
you know,
it. There's
you
no
don't
question and
have-
answer.
Anyway, this is a discussion. This we need time to discuss
Yes.
this
Correct.
because
Yes, yes,
we are
very
out of time completely. We will discuss it because it's very important. See, ultimately we are concerned about Goa. We are not
course.
concerned about and India, no doubt. But first we are concerned about Goa.
Our
We are
children,
concerned
of
about
course.
our next generation.
Our generation, yeah.
Goa is the next generation. It's not
That's
our
true.
generation. Our generation is like, I mean, we've done. I don't think how much more we are going to do. We have to see, but it's done.
And just before conclusion, I will say, before concluding, see, no teacher in Goa is opposing for this
I
increase in
don't. Why
hours.
people? Nobody.
We are
is opposing.
supporting. Rather, everybody is ready to work.
Yes.
In fact, all teachers were working before this also in the month of March, in
Correct.
the month of April. We were conducting classes
Correct.
even in the month of May.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, now we are completely out of time on this, but this education is such a vast topic because this is what is going to give the base for the next generation to become something. And if we are going to go by Viksit Bharat and 2047, the PM's vision to go where we are without proper foundation, without proper education, we are not going anywhere. Anyway, this is Glenn Costa talking on this topic, which is something little new for me, education. But this is something that certainly it has, I think it's Cecil more than anybody who has developed this little bit of interest. But we will, I think we need to do more of these discussions and debates on this channel. Thanks, Cecil.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Prasadam.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And keep watching GOA365.